Today I want to talk about my summer book and my avoidant attachment. This is going to be very therapeutic for both of us. Let me know in the comments if you can relate to how I'm feeling. So it's just gonna be kind of a reflection and book review type of video. I also make fashion and makeup stuff, mostly on my YouTube shorts. So if you want to see that, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel now. But for now, I want to pivot away from that and really make content that means a lot to me. This is my summer book, Bonjour Tristesse. I don't know if I pronounced that right. Literally just googled French authors and I didn't want to read the classic stuff. And then I also came across it on TikTok. To be honest with you, it was, I think, recommended as a spicy book and it's a short read. I finished it on my flight and it hits a lot different if you're traveling and seeing the sunset, for sure. This book to me feels like a sunset. I associate certain poetry, certain books and certain music that give me a feeling with sunsets, with sunrises, or anything beautiful. So this felt like a sunset on a Mediterranean beach while you're on vacation. Funny enough, the main character was on vacation in the south of France. So the book talks about the main character, Cécile. She basically falls in love with a guy named Cyril. And Cécile has a very interesting relationship with her dad, who is a single dad, and Anna, which is a girl that is associated with her dad eventually. She kind of viewed herself as somebody that had to learn how to love from somebody else, and she doesn't really feel like it's an innate ability of hers. It just describes the reality of things. Sometimes you're faced with a wonderful boy. You meet people that seem to be your textbook type, that are very attractive, very kind and gentle towards you, but you just don't feel any type of love towards them, or you question whether it's just infatuation and attraction or if it's really love. The kind of love where you can die for somebody. Kind of oscillates between loving Cyril in certain moments and then also thinking, oh, he's just an attractive boy and I'll probably forget about him after this vacation. It's very realistic in a way where you can feel love for somebody in just one moment and then the next second doubt it. I was not so sure it was love I felt for him at that moment. I have always been fickle and I have no wish to delude myself on this point. But just then, I loved him more than I loved myself. I would have sacrificed my life for him. This was a quote from Anne. You have no need of anyone, she murmured. Neither you nor he. I want to talk about this in my avoidant attachment style. Obviously, I don't think people were born with an avoidant attachment style. It's resulted from a lot of trauma. My avoidant attachment style has come from knowing that I don't really need anybody. It's very true, especially if you are a person that has been hurt a lot by significant others. I consider myself to be a very independent person, and it's very, very hard for me to be impressed by somebody. From a previously anxious person's perspective, every time I had needed somebody, they've kind of always ended up disappointing me in some way, shape, or form. Or if the relationship ends down the line, I feel like it was a waste of time and that I shouldn't have needed another person anyway, because look at me now, I ended up getting hurt again. Very sad to admit this, but slowly I've been becoming kind of numb to all the fun parts of the courting stage or the dating stage. I've learned to just enjoy things for the moment and not put a label on it and just take it for what it is right now. Hard to admit, but this behavior is very tough for example, for the guys that I'm dating that do want a relationship with me right away. I need more time to figure out if it's really love or if it's just infatuation. And because I don't want to end up hurting anybody, I take forever to figure it out. My fear of being abandoned again outweighs my desire to relive certain moments of happiness with somebody. I've built this peaceful environment. It took so long for me to achieve this. It's very hard for me to welcome somebody in that could potentially ruin that. Cecile gets very introspective of how much she needs and wants to be loved by Cyril or just by somebody in general. She talks about wanting to be caressed and hugged and kissed. Even though you think to yourself that you don't really need anybody, at the end of the day, you still think about wanting to be wanted by somebody. And I feel like that's a very normal thing. I do crave intimate moments with somebody. I do want to be married one day, and I feel like it just takes a certain type of person to make me want that. Another thing that I think is very funny that Cécile said when Cyril went to confess to her his love, she says, "I did not want to marry him. I loved him, yes, but I did not want to marry him. I didn't want to marry anyone. I was tired." So I feel like she was kind of funny for that. You can want somebody all you want, but still not want to be bound by anybody. There's this TikTok I saw where he said, "You built walls around yourself you can't climb out of." While I'm holding out hope that somebody's out there who's willing to break those walls down, I am also scared of the fact that there might be nobody that would want to make that effort. In today's day and age, everybody has options. It would take a certain type of person to be interested in me enough, be patient enough, or be strong enough to break those walls down, or at least maybe wait for me to learn how to break them down myself. At the end of the day, I do believe that we are built for partnerships and love and community. I feel like it's very difficult for somebody to live their whole life being alone. So if you got until this point, let me know in the comments what you think. If you end up reading Bonjour Tristesse, if you agree or disagree with some of my thoughts. Thanks for joining our little therapy session, and I'll see you next time.